Hermes just shipped something that genuinely changes the game. Up until a few days ago, if you wanted to use Hermes agent, you had to live in the terminal, managing config files, writing your own tools, wiring up skills by hand. Powerful, but a real barrier if you weren't already comfortable down there. Well, that just changed. Hermes has finally left the terminal and it's a desktop app now, which means anyone can use it. So in this video, I'm going to take you from zero to a fully working Hermes agent. So we'll start by downloading the desktop application, get up and running with it. Then we are going to set up our first agent, connect it to Telegram. I'll also show you how you can add custom tools and skills. And finally, once all of this is done, I'll also show you how you can create multiple profiles or personas and manage all of them from your desktop application. So without any further ado, let's get started. So you just need to go to Google and search for Hermes Desktop. And this is where it's going to take you. So in here, once you click on install, this is the Hermes homepage, and you can see there are multiple tabs and there's a tab for desktop, and just click on install and it is going to ask you what system you want to run it on. So in my case, I'm going to download it for Mac OS. So I'll put it inside applications. Alright, so we have the desktop app installed. So this is going to take a bit of time. I mean, this is similar to how it installs everything when you're doing it via terminal, but now it has a really nice user interface. So let's give it a bit of time. Alright, so looks like we have installed it and it's time to launch the application. And this is the chat interface that you get. Now, before we get started, I think it's important for us to, set up the model, the provider, the LLM that is going to power this agent. So typically it's recommended if you already have a ChatGPT subscription, you can use it via OAuth and you do not have to pay anything extra. Along with that, there are a few other providers as well. For me, I'll be using OpenRouter, since OpenRouter is one key and it is going to provide you a lot of models. So let me bring my key and paste it here. So you can change the model that you want. So in this case, I'm again going to stick with the Opus 4.8 for now. So let's click on start chatting. Now it says that Hermes is ready. So let's say, hey, what can you do for me? Alright, so it tells you what exactly this agent is, what it can do for you. So we have our first agent up and running. Now I want to highlight a couple of things. In here, just like if you're using ChatGPT or Cloud Desktop, you have all the sessions or all the chat sessions listed here. You can easily pin one of them as well. So the pinned chats are going to stay here because there are chats that you want to, come back to again and again because you have a lot of context already available there. So which is a really good thing. I like this feature. Along with that, I also want to show you something. So once you click on this setting, in here, you can again, change your model provider. If you want to, let's say in mid session or once you already created your agent, you can always change the provider or you can change the model as well, right? So that is fairly easy to do. Along with that, in here, you have the option to manage your gateway connection as well. Since currently this Hermes agent is running locally on my MacBook, but in case if you want to connect it to some remote gateway, if you have Hermes are running on cloud, for example, if you have hosted it on something like a DigitalOcean, Hostinger, or your own private server, you can directly connect your desktop app on your main machine with that remote instance as well, right? So it's fairly easy. You just need to provide the remote URL and then save and reconnect. So currently, since we are already connected to local gateway, so we do not need to change anything here, but it's an important feature that I wanted to highlight. Next thing is if you want to add some custom MCP server, it's fairly easy. You just need to name the MCP server and then, provide the config JSON. So typically when you're trying to connect it to an MCP server, you have an MCP config. If you have used the same with the either ChatGPT, Cloud Desktop or Cloud Code, I think you already know it. It's fairly simple and you can always add a new server as well, right? So once you already added the server, you can also add new servers if you want to. So not so important, but an interesting feature is if you are someone who likes dark theme, you can always switch to dark theme as well. It's fairly easy. You can click on system, so it will go to system thing for system thing. But for now, I'll keep it light. And another thing that I wanted to highlight here is before we go back and connect it to Telegram is memory and context. So persistent memory is already turned on. And then you also have a few things like memory budget and profile budget. So if you've seen some of my previous videos or the articles that I've done, Hermes manages memory as a 3-tier system. So the tier 1 are 2 files. There's a memory.md and there's a user.md, right? And this budget is basically the memory.md does not go beyond 2200 tokens. If that happens, it is automatically going to apply compression so that it only retains the relevant facts and remove something that is unused and not very important. Similarly, the profile budget is like the user.md file, which is basically telling the agent the user preferences, what exactly they want and all. So just to give an example, let me show you something around this. So I previously written a full article on Hermes masterclass, and in there we covered the memory part in full details. So right, here are the 3 tiers of the memory. So first in tier 1 you have the memory.md and the user.md, and then in tier 2 like you store all your sessions inside an SQLi database, and then tier 3 is where you extend your memory and bring in an external provider. Usually that is a knowledge graph based memory because they are very popular and very effective compared to naive vector search or similarity search that we do. So that is also something that is available in Hermes. You can always come up with a memory provider. So there are multiple built-in providers and there are 8 external providers. So you can directly connect to one of them. Since this is meant for everyone, so people do not want to go into technical details of or let's say they do not want to explore all the 8 available integrations, so you can just either select the built-in one or Honcho, right? So that's pretty much that I wanted to show here. Now it's time to connect it to Telegram. So let's go to messaging. In messaging, you see there are different messaging tools that you can connect it to. Most popular one is again Telegram, which is what I also use a lot. So first we need to provide a bot token and then a user ID. So let's go to Telegram and create a bot token. It has provided the instruction here, you create a bot with the @botfather, which is fairly simple. I think I've shown you multiple times earlier also, but just for the sake of someone who is watching this for the very first time, I'll do it again. So on Telegram, once you are inside, this is the botfather bot, and you should check there's a check bar so that you're not sending any message anywhere else. So once you go to botfather, all you need to do is to type new bot, and then it asks you to select or choose a name for your bot. So let's call it, I'll just call it Hermes Desktop, and then you also need to provide some sort of username. Just note that whatever name you provide, it should end with an underscore bot. Now we have our bot token. Go back here and we'll paste it here. And then I also need to provide a user ID. So I'll go back to Telegram, and there's a user info bot that you can message, and it is going to just start chatting with it, and it is going to give you your ID. So I'll take my ID and connect it here. So let's save all the changes. So now it says that a messaging gateway has been stopped. Start the gateway from the status bar to connect. So I'll go to status bar, click on gateway ready, click on open system panel, and it says that the messaging gateway has stopped. So I'll click on restart messaging. Correct. So now it says that it is connected and credentials are set. Now I'll go back to Telegram and see how it goes. All right. So you can see I asked it to what you can do for me. So it mentioned what all capability it has and all. So just wanted to show you how to connect your Hermes desktop to Telegram. So basically you can always come back to your desktop, but one of the most powerful feature of being able to use something like OpenClaw and Hermes is being able to control this powerful agent from the comforts of your phone. So that's why the Telegram integration is always important, and I wanted to show it to you. With that out of the way, the next thing that we are going to look at is skills and tools. So as you know, Hermes comes with the a bunch of pre-installed skills, right? So some of those skills are like there's skill if you are part of the Apple ecosystem, Apple Notes, Apple Reminders and all. Then there's a skill for Cloud Code. If you've watched my previous video, we created multiple agent, and one of the agent was a programmer, and we were using it was internally using Cloud Code for working on all the projects. All of these skills are pre-built, bundled in, but in case if you feel that okay, like this is getting a bit too much and I do not want a lot of those skills, so you can just come here and switch off these skills. It can be easily disabled, right? So now in case if you're building a particular agent for a specific task and you only want to provide it, let's say 4 or 5 skills of your own, then you can just let that make sure that the agent that you create only focuses on or only has access to your custom skills. So that is easily doable. Same goes for tool sets as well. So there are a lot of different tools here, browser automation, code execution and all. So it is pre-configured, but if you want to change something, always do that. And you can also search for tool sets. Another thing that I wanted to show you here is so all the skills that you saw that were bundled in there are coming from this official Hermes agent skills hub. So there are 74 built-in skills, 95 optional, and then there are a lot of community skills. So you can search for these skills here, right? And once you find the name of that skill, or if you're just browsing through it, one of the best way to navigate through these skills is going through these categories, like what exactly you're looking at, right? If you want something on productivity, if you want something on software development, creativity, finance, security, just go through it. Look at the skill, like what it does, read a bit more about it, and once you're confident that okay, like this is something that is useful for you, you can again come back and search for it here as well. Fairly easy, right? You can just type the name of the skill, it will be available here and you can type in. Now let's say if you want to create a custom skill, a skill that does not exist on the hub, but you want to create it for one of your workflows. Well, it's fairly simple. All you need to do is to go to chat. So for the sake of this demo, I'll try to go with something simple, but if you want to create a skill for a designer that can create designs similar to your style, or if you want to create skill for writing content that kind of matches your writing style, so all of that can be done. You just need to provide the raw context or examples to it and then ask Hermes to bundle it into a skill that can be done. For example, let's say I just want to create a skill for summarizing a paper. Help me create a skill for summarizing a paper. And the summary should be something that I can read in just 4 to 5 minutes. It should be accessible. It should highlight all the key features or the key developments that the paper talks about. And it should give the summary in a very accessible and relatable manner. So Hermes has a function called skill create, right? It automatically creates skills for you. So now it is asking a few follow-up questions so that it can refine the skill and match it to your taste. So, you can choose any that you want. So now it says that it has created a skill and the skill's name is paper summary. And now if we go to skills and tool and if we search about, right? So paper summary is here and this skill is enabled. It takes an archive paper URL PDF and it distill it down into 4 to 5 minutes plain English summary. So let me try it with an example. So there's this new paper that recently was released by Google, and I'll take the link of this archive link of this paper, go to Hermes, summarize this paper for me. Alright, so it has created a summary for us. As you can see, it's there's a TLDR section, why it's interesting, the standout numbers and stuff like that. So just an example of how to create a custom skill, but you can use this functionality. You can just come to chat, give you it certain instruction, give it let's say certain examples and all, and it is going to do it for you. So another thing that I wanted to highlight now is artifacts. So artifacts are where your agent is going to dump all the information, let's say images that it has generated, files that it has generated, links that it has gone through and all. So all of that can be found inside the artifact. So this is again one important feature that I wanted to highlight. We just summarized this paper and saved it to this particular directory. So you can directly access this from artifacts as well and just click on here and it is going to take you to this markdown file. I think it opened it up in my anti-gravity, but anyways, you got the point.